Is it really what you want? Is this really what you want? And there will probably be a bit of a tug of war inside of us, and maybe it will show up externally as well, with our partner, with a friend, with our parents, someone in our life that we feel deeply within. The question here is, what is this that you really want? What is behind it? Maybe externally you have this idea of how this looks like, the thing you want. But what is really truly behind that? What is it that you're actually looking for? Good morning, my lovelies. Welcome back. So it is Sunday and we are looking at the week ahead. We're talking about the week from November 4th to November 10th. Now, what's going on this week? Well, it is, could we say, a slower week compared to the previous weeks. There's still stuff happening. The moon is moving from Sagittarius all the way to Pisces. So we're starting the week in Sagittarius with the moon in Sagittarius, and then we're ending the week with the moon in Pisces. So let's begin. We're starting the week with Mars opposing Pluto still. So this is an aspect that we are taking from the weekend. So from today, this is actually an aspect that is exact today. We're taking it into the week. And this is an aspect that will probably, I would say, have a lasting effect. Whatever is coming up for you in your life right now, that is something that you will integrate in the next few months. So Pluto is direct now. Pluto is direct in Capricorn, preparing to leave Capricorn for good. And this is the last time Mars is opposing Pluto in this aspect in our lifetime. So this is a big one. This is Mars, our drive, our desire in terms of getting them, right? It's not our Venusian desires. We want to revel in something. It's like, no, we want to get it. We want to get it. We want to get what we want. And Pluto on the other side is saying, is it really what you want? Is this really what you want? And there will probably be a bit of a tug of war inside of us, and maybe it will show up externally as well, with our partner, with a friend, with our parents, with someone in our life that had or has a lasting effect, right? That is someone that is very, very deep within us, someone that we feel deeply within. Then later this day, or on the 5th, depending on where you are in the world, Mars is moving into Leo. Now, Mars is still going to have this aspect, right? Even though Mars is in Leo now, there's still, the energy is still felt, and it might even be a bit more fiery now. It might even be stronger. We are like, oh, we really want this. And then Pluto is like, well, do you really want this? And Mars is like, yeah, I really want this. But the question here is, what is this that you really want? What is behind it? Or maybe externally you have this idea of how this looks like, the thing you want. But what is really truly behind that? What is it that you're actually looking for? Maybe in that person or in that lifestyle or in that country or that city or whatever it is you want or where you want to go. What is behind it? What do you actually get from it? Mars is going to retrograde in Leo. So Mars is going to go up to 5 degrees of Leo and then start its retrograde cycle. So Mars is already very, very, very slow. And this slowness of Mars is very interesting because Mars is not a slow energy. Mars in itself is fast. It's like, let's go, let's do it now, let's not wait. And now Mars is quote unquote forced, or the Martian energy within us is slowing down, and it makes us hibbly. It makes us kind of like, oh, like we have ants in us, like they just this feeling of I gotta do something, but I gotta do something. But it's not, but there's something that's holding us back. And the thing that is holding us back is very likely the thing that we haven't integrated to go and get what we want, right? Maybe we have this certain idea of the life we want to live. or the life we think we should live, and we go after that should. Mars preparing for its retrograde, and then Mars in retrograde is always an energy that asks us to review the thing we want, review the thing we go after, review that thing we think is going to bring us happiness or whatever we think it's going to bring us. Review that. And that's why we got to slow down. Because when we go fast, when you're on a train and you go really fast, that's a fast train, you can't really see exactly what's happening outside, right? Because it's too fast. You're like, oh, what was that? What was that? So you got to slow down to be able to truly observe the thing or the things and what is behind them, what it actually means for you. And that's why I really believe this Mars opposition to Pluto is big for us, big for your life, because Pluto is in Capricorn, the structures of life, restructuring. Where are you still restructuring? To be more stable, to be more grounded within you. Remember, Pluto represents the soul's desire in this lifetime, the soul's potential that can unfold. It's not kind of like an ego concept. It is more like this connection that we have to the deeper realms. And by deep, what I mean is like that cosmic understanding, right? That cosmic, that soul's intention, that the soul's yearning. Not the ego yearning that we have when we see other people have certain things and we want them too. Not that. Not the thing that we see and we think we should have that or we want that because, oh, they have such a good life. They have so much fun. That's a different kind of yearning. I'm talking about that yearning that has always been within you, and you know that yearning. You might try to ignore it, you might push it aside, you might decide to not think about it, you might decide, all the things, but it is deep and it is potent and it is always there and you know it. And it will keep showing up, and because it always has shown up. Throughout your life, it's that red thread that you've been taking with you. And some people act on it, but most people don't. So what category are you in? Are you acting on it, that soul yearning, or are you ignoring it and go after what you think you should go after or the way you should live your life? Then also on the 4th, we have the Sun trine Saturn, beautiful aspect, loving it. I love the trines with Saturn because they are very productive. Usually trines are not the most productive energies, but with Saturn in the mix and the Sun, ooh, that is really tapping into what I just said, right? This understanding of this is my soul yearning. This, you can give it whatever name you want to give it. I call it the soul yearning because this is this deep desire that is coming from within that takes over everything. But you try to bottle it up and push it away because you think, oh no, that's not for me. I shouldn't want this. I should just want this. But when you connect this soul desire of yours with this energy of the Sun trine Saturn, you can take this and you can actually do something with it, right? This is very much a doing kind of energy, a doing aspect, this trine between the Sun and Saturn. So you take this, whatever it is that is this yearning, and you turn it into something in the physical world, right? You take it, you turn it into action, maybe action steps, like whatever this yearning is. What can you do to move closer to it, to utilize it, to take it and to do something with it in the physical world, because that's the Sun and Saturn together, right? It's like this, now you're here in the physical. So you're taking this desire and you put it into action. And with Saturn, the help of Saturn, we can really manifest. Like Saturn is the manifester here, right? Saturn is manifesting. It's manifestation, everything manifested in the physical. So I think this is they're very beautiful energy to start the week with, right? Maybe you just want to start writing things down, right? Write things down for you. What is it that you want? Where do you want to go with your life? Write it down. That's the first step in becoming more productive. You taking your fingers, you take a pen and you write it down. Productive. This is the first step to productivity. And then, from there you take the next step. Also on the 4th, it's a big day, the 4th, Jupiter is still sextiling Chiron. I know, been talking about this for weeks. I will keep talking about it. I will keep reminding you that we are expanding our inner container, inner child work, like allowing yourself to open up internally, looking at all the things that are holding you back, the things that make you believe you're not good enough, the things that anger you, the things that frustrate you. Why do they frustrate you? Where is that frustration coming from? What is really frustrating you? What is behind it? Looking deeper. It's this beautiful, beautiful energy, these two together. I think it's like a cosmic gift that we are given during this time to really expand internally so we can then expand in the external as well. On the 6th, we have Mercury sextiling the South Node and trining the North Node. This is maybe constructive conversations about the future, or thoughts, thinking about the future. Where do I actually want to go? What do I actually want to do with my life? It's kind of like the topic of the week, isn't it? On the 7th, the Moon is conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. It's the last time that this is happening because, like we know, Pluto is moving into Aquarius soon, or back into Aquarius. This is a time again, like this is all, like I think this week speaks one language. It's one language that is just being told in different ways so you understand it. Because sometimes, someone explains to us something and we're like, what are they talking about? And then another person explains the same thing to us, but they use different words and we are like, oh, I get it now. And this is kind of like an aspect here where we are now emotionally reminded of that soul yearning, right? Our emotions are going to be in the mix here. So we have Mercury in the mix, we have Mars in the mix, we have the nodes in the mix, we have the Moon in the mix, all in their own ways, reminding us of like the reason we came here, the purpose we came here, the purpose that we have in this life. Because we all have a purpose. Some people's purposes are, bigger, or they seemingly bigger, right? They are all out there for everyone to see. And other people's purposes, they're just yours. They are just for you to see. And then last but not least, on the 9th of November, we have Venus squaring Neptune. Now, this is Venus, our earthy desires, and that could be physical desires, bodily desires, but it can also be the desires of like, oh, I would like to live like this, or I'd like to live in this place, or I would like to, go here, because Venus is still in Sagittarius. And then there's Neptune in Pisces. That's where the natural square comes in. And if you remember in my last video, I talked about the square between Pisces and Sagittarius being a square that is the least squarey, if I may say so. It still feels like a square. There's still annoyance, there's still frustration, there's still tension. But these two, Venus and these two, Pisces and Sagittarius, are both ruled by Jupiter. So there is an affinity here that these two have, an understanding on a level beyond the square. And so with this square, we are still going to feel the tension of, okay, I want this, but how am I going to actually get it done? It seems like so vast, I kind of get lost in it. But there's also, beyond that, we understand that it is actually possible. So there is this tension, there is this, oh, how am I going to do this? And why is it not already here? But then there's still this understanding of, I just need to allow it to unfold. And it's not so much about patience, it's more about leaning back and observing, enjoying the process of observing. And I know usually with a square, observing is not the only thing to do. Usually with a square, we got to do also the inner work, right? The inner work within us, that expansion that we need to get the thing we want, to be able to hold the thing we want. So that will still need to be done. But again, there is also this leaning back, especially with Venus. Venus is being energy. It's not doing energy. It's leaning back and allowing and doing that internal work first before we can go and do the external work, right? The actual doing stuff. But it's that being energy, that understanding, that intuitive knowing, that relaxing into, all of that comes first when we are talking about Venus or anything related to Venus, right? A square to Venus or any aspect to Venus. So if you have any questions about this lovely little week, please feel free to ask in the comment section. If you want a personal reading, you can book it by clicking on the link in the description box. Anything else, ask away. I'm here for you. And I will see you in the next video.